As a child, I remember going to birthday parties, and it wasn't the cake that stood out for me, it was the ice cream. I remember receiving Neapolitan ice cream, vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate, all packaged in a little block. Now, as an adult, I got to thinking, what if I take all of those three flavors, chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, and create a cookie? And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. Coming up next. Hi, I'm Deette, and welcome to Turtle's Tasty Treats, where we make baking from scratch easy. Today, I'm really excited to share with you my Neapolitan cookie recipe. We're going to take one dough and create 3 different flavors. The ingredients that you will need for your base cookie dough are 1 cup of unsalted butter, 1 egg and 1 egg yolk, 1 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 2½ teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 2½ cups of all-purpose flour. For the chocolate cookie dough, you will need to add 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder and 1/2 cup of melt chocolate chips. For the strawberry cookie dough, you will need to add 1 cup of strawberries, 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, and 1/2 teaspoon of pink food coloring powder. To mix my ingredients up, I'll be using my KitchenAid stand mixer fixed with my paddle attachment, a large bowl, a whisk, and a spatula. Now to put all of my cookie dough in, I'll be using a loaf pan. Now, let's go ahead and set my oven to 375 degrees. We're going to start by adding our butter to our bowl. Now we're going to add our granulated sugar to our butter. Next, we're going to cream the 2 together. Let's mix it up. To add flavor to our cookie dough, I'm going to add the vanilla. Now let's mix it up. Now it's time to add the eggs to our cookie dough. And I do this by cracking the eggs into a separate bowl. This way, if there's a bad egg or a shell falls in, it falls into my separate bowl and not my cookie dough. I'm going to add that 1 egg to my cookie dough, and I'm going to mix it up by itself. Now to add the egg yolk. I'm going to do that by cracking my egg open and allowing the egg white to fall into my bowl. I'm going to move the egg yolk back and forth in my shell. Now that I just have the egg yolk, I'm going to go ahead, pour that into a separate bowl, and now I'm going to add it into my cookie dough. And now it's time to mix it up. Now I'm going to add my baking soda, baking powder, and salt to my flour. Taking my whisk, I'm going to go ahead and mix it up. Now I'm going to add my flour into my cookie dough, a little bit at a time, mixing it up in between each time that I add the flour. Now taking my spatula, I'm going to go ahead and scrape down the sides of my bowl. I want to make sure that all of the ingredients is fully incorporating together. And I'm not going to forget the bottom. Let's mix it up. Using my spatula, I'm going to go ahead and remove all of the cookie dough off of my paddle. Now that I have the base of my cookie dough all made, I'm going to divide this into 3 equal parts. Now that my cookie dough is divided into 3 equal parts, I'm now going to begin to make the chocolate and the strawberry portion of my cookie. Placing my bowl back to its correct position on the mixer, I'm going to get ready to make the chocolate portion of this cookie. I'm going to add in the cocoa powder, and I'm going to mix it up. Next, I'm going to add the chocolate chips. And I'm going to mix it up. Taking my spatula, I'm going to scrape down the sides and the bottom to make sure everything is mixed up together well. And let's mix it up. Now I'm ready to remove whatever cookie dough is left on my paddle and remove all of the cookie dough out of this bowl into a separate bowl. Now here's the chocolate dough completed for the chocolate portion of our cookie. Now taking another bowl of our cookie base, we're going to go ahead and put it back into our mixer. Now we're ready to make the strawberry portion of our cookies. I'm going to go ahead and take our all-purpose flour and I'm going to add it to our cookie dough. The extra flour is going to help with the strawberries and its juice that it has. Now we're going to add in our strawberries. And let's mix it up. And for an extra splash of pink color, we're going to add our pink food coloring powder. And let's mix it up. Taking our spatula, we're going to go ahead and scrape down the sides and the bottom, making sure that everything is well incorporated together. And let's mix it up one final time. Taking my spatula, I'm going to go ahead and remove all of the cookie dough off of my paddle. Using a loaf pan, I'm going to go ahead and take some parchment paper and line my pan. Now I'm ready to layer the flavors into my pan. All 3 flavors are into my pan. I'm going to go ahead and let it chill in the refrigerator for 30 minutes in order to set up. Now that my cookie dough has chilled, I'm going to go ahead and take my pan and turn it over onto my cutting board that is lined with parchment paper. Now I'm going to remove my parchment paper from my cookie dough. Taking a knife, I'm going to go ahead and slice my cookie dough in half. Now that my cookie dough is cut in half lengthwise, I'm going to go ahead and cut my cookie dough about 1 inch thick. And now I'm going to place my sliced cookie dough onto my parchment lined baking tray about 1 inch apart. Now that my cookie slices are all placed onto my baking tray, I'm going to bake them in the oven for 9 minutes. chill on the baking tray for 5 minutes. Now that our cookies have cooled, I'm ready to move them from our baking tray to our cooling rack where they'll completely cool down. And now it's time to taste our tasty treat. Soft, ooey, gooey goodness. I'll see you in the next one, and subscribe for more.